Hi everybody, welcome to the Waldock Way. I'm Jessica, and today's video is going to be our September morning basket. Now this month will be the first month into our new school year, so the structure changed just a little bit for our morning basket, which I will explain when I turn you guys around. I just wanted to let you know that this one may be a little different than what you saw in the past, and that's because I've restructured just a little bit. And that restructuring is based off of some things that I wanted to make sure we were getting in, some things Emily wanted more of, and then some things that I no longer felt needed to be in morning basket because there would be plenty of it happening outside of that. So I'll explain when I turn you guys around and show you everything. But I wanted to tell you what our theme was and why I chose this theme. So this month, our theme is going to be medieval knights and castles. And the reason for that, because normally I choose based off of Emily's interest or a season or a holiday, and that is not the case this month. She did not have a say in this one at all, and she doesn't even know what the theme is yet. And the reason is because Waldock Wizards and Wands has a history component from Muggle studies, and half of it is medieval time period and the other half is ancients. So for the first half of the school year, we'll be doing medieval times. Passport to More Adventures also has a lot to do with King Arthur and Camelot and Merlin, and so that is a huge medieval chunk as well. So I just kind of wanted to start our year off with a really good in-depth idea of what the medieval time period was and kind of dig a little bit deeper so that she would have a really good understanding going throughout the rest of the school year. And we were able to get a really awesome Florida resident homeschool deal to the Medieval Times dinner theater in Orlando. So that is something that we will be doing this month as well. So it just kind of seemed fitting. Everything fell together very nicely. And it was kind of a no-brainer that medieval time period was going to be our theme for this month. So without further ado, let me go ahead and turn you around and show you everything that is in our September morning basket that will be medieval themed and the new structure for how I'm hoping our morning basket goes for second grade. Okay, so this is my morning menu. On the very front, I have our new September morning basket. This is the structure that I am hoping works for us. This is at least my plan for now. If this doesn't work, I will let you guys know. Make sure you stay tuned because in the next month or two, I will be doing kind of a look inside our morning time so you can join us and see this in action. The first thing that we will be doing will be our morning menu, which is this, and I'll be showing you that in just a moment. We will be doing a calendar time every day because I noticed that because we didn't do calendar time last year, we were starting to lose some of the days of the week and months of the year and just the concept of calendars and time. So I want to make sure we go back to doing that, but in a very simple way. And then we will be looping through 3 of the other items in here, and that is poetry, art, and music. So I'm going to go ahead and show you inside. For our calendar time, I went very simple. I just used kind of the layout of my planner. So this is the September calendar. I just made the numbers bigger because I wouldn't need to write anything else. And then I have the days of the week and the months of the year. So we'll just discuss, there will be like no writing, no craziness. We'll just discuss that today is, for instance, Monday, September 2nd. We will either say or sing the days of the week, say or sing the months of the year, and then just kind of talk about like where September and Monday is in relation to the other days and months. And then we will be looping through the next 3 items. So we'll do the calendar time every day, and then we would do this on day 1. And this is the poem of the month from Learning Through Literature. This is actually a free download. They do it every month. And this month's poem is Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. You also get the poet's bio, as well as some different poetic devices and things to discuss and other poems to explore. Another thing that we will be looping through will be our art. And this month, I have chosen the Simply Charlotte Mason's Picture Study Portfolios. I will be doing a full look inside a few of these because I did get 2 of them to start with. But I've chosen to do Da Vinci since we're going with medieval, and the Mona Lisa is one of Emily's favorite pieces of art. So I figured we would start with Da Vinci. So we have the Virgin of the Rocks and the Mona Lisa for this month. And then the last thing we will be using as we loop through is the Squilt music listening calendar. Now I said we would be looping, which means technically we would only be doing every 3rd day on here. And I haven't decided yet, I will let you guys know next month, whether we will listen to, like, if we, let's say on day 3, it was Tuesday, and I don't know whether we'll listen to all 3 on this day, or if we'll just listen to the one and call, being able to listen to 10 to 12 songs that month good. I haven't made that decision yet. So I will update you guys when that happens. So that is going to be the first portion of our morning basket. And the next part of our morning basket will be either a Bible or a devotional, which this month, because Jesus Storybook Bible is our favorite, hands down, we've decided that that's what we're going to start our school year off of. It has beautiful illustrations, and it is just one that we both really, really enjoy. So we will be spending the month reading through this. The next thing on my list is Fairytale, Folktale, Myth, or Legend. Now, the reason that is on there is I felt like we missed out on some of that last year, and I wanted to make sure that we were getting that incorporated. And then because our theme is medieval, I have actually chosen 2 different ones because there's only about 12 stories in this one and 8 in this one. And the ones that we'll be using are the Usborne Illustrated Tales of King Arthur. So we'll be reading through a couple of these different legends. Again, it's illustrated and gorgeous as all the Usborne ones are. And there are, I think, 8 to 10 different stories in here. Then the other one I have is the Barefoot Book of Nights, and it has a CD in it, so I don't know whether I'll read it or we'll listen to it. But this one is kind of like folk tales of nights from around the world. So we have like the Night of the Kitchen from Britain, the Night of Guan from Germany, the 3 Journeys of Hyamuram from Russia. So you just have all of these really fun different night stories that we're going to be reading throughout the month. The next thing we will do will be our read aloud. I'll read 1 to 2 chapters depending on how long the chapters are and our mood. So this month we will be reading through Jessica Day George's Tuesday at the Castle. I'm actually really excited for this. I'd already chosen this as my book, and then Sarah Mackenzie did this as her book of the week this week, and so that made me twice as happy that I chose this one. The next thing on our list is picture books. I felt like last year we kind of made the big switch over from picture books to chapter books, and I was a little sad about that. So I wanted to make sure we were not forgetting picture books and that they were being incorporated every single day no matter what. So I have put all of the medieval picture books that I've chosen. Most of them are fiction, and I want to just make sure that we're enjoying them. So when we are done with our 1 to 2 chapters, I will have a separate basket with all of these picture books in it right next to my morning basket, and Emily will get to pick one every day. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the stack of picture books now. We have the Usborne Young Reading Adventures of King Arthur, the Usborne Young Reading Stories of Merlin. This is the Usborne Beginner's Castle, Get Well, Good Night, the Usborne Look Inside a Castle, King Arthur's Very Great Grandson, The Knight and the Dragon, Good Night, Good Night, Fly Guy Presents Castles, Circumference and the Round Table, Circumference and the Great Knight of Engleland, Circumference and the Dragon of Pi, Chancellor and the Fox, Good Night, Night Night, The Storybook Night, Who Wants to Be a Princess? What It Was Really Like to Be a Medieval Princess, There Was an Old Dragon Who Swallowed a Knight, The Forgetful Knight, The Princess Knight, Miss Frizzle's Adventures, The Medieval Castle. So then after we have read through our picture books, the next thing we will do is Mad Libs. That is the one thing that Emily has asked that we do every day. It's her favorite part of Morning Basket. So this month we will actually be doing the National Geographic's Funny Fill-In, which they had a My Medieval Adventure. And I really enjoy that these are in full color. And each one that you do has some sort of fun fact. So you're doing the really fun, Mad Lib kind of thing, but you're getting fun facts and you're getting to see like a full color picture. So I really, really like that part of it. So that's what we'll be using for Mad Libs this month. The next thing we'll be doing is journal. Now, we had been doing the kids question and answer a day. That is probably going to move to our bedtime basket because I do the scribing or the writing for her in that journal. And I really wanted to incorporate the Big Life Journal for kids. Now, this is the second edition that they've made. It's like a whole new journal, so you don't have to have done the first edition first. You can start with either one. But I wanted to make sure that we were doing this, and I feel like Morning Basket is a better place for it for us. I really like it because it specifically asks for a journal buddy, meaning that it's meant to be done with somebody. It gives you directions on how to use it, and each chapter of the second edition is broken down into 2 parts. So you have the different superpowers: believing in yourself, mistakes helping you grow, be persistent and grateful, and being unique. And I just really, really, really like that this is a growth mindset kind of thing. And I feel like it will be really good for our year. So this is what we'll be using for journal. After journal, I wanted to make sure that we were playing a game. I used to say that it needed to be a logic game, but after much consideration, I have decided that any game has some sort of logic in it. So some of the games that we will be playing are Carcassonne. I have the Professor Noggin Medieval Times. So it's just the different Medieval Times Professor Noggin's cards. I have Sleeping Queens, which is one of our favorites. I have a new to us game, which is Keys to the Castle, a tile laying game. Then I also have King Domino. We have Queen Domino too, but I decided that this one is a little bit quicker in gameplay. So this is what we would use for our morning time. And then the last game I have is Dragon Dash. If you have ever played Race to the Treasure, it is very, very similar. You are trying to make a path for the knights to get through the garden without the dragon getting them. And then after games, I wanted to do some sort of either mindfulness activity or movement. So for mindfulness, I have the Mindful Kids activity cards. In case you haven't seen these are really, really awesome. All I did was shuffle the cards, and we'll just pick 1 to 2. Like, I'm not going to do it in any specific order. I just shuffled them, and we'll pick one out of the front. And we'll do the things that it says on the back, and then I'll put it in the back of the stack. And so, like I said, we'll either do 1 or 2 a day. And then the thing we will do for movement is Cosmic Kids Yoga. So we will either do the mindful cards or the Cosmic Kids Yoga, depending on her mood for the day. The last thing I have listed on here is hands-on activities. These will be things that will be stored with the games. That's kind of like under our coffee table. And so she knows that anytime I'm doing any of the reading, she can get anything from there out to use it. So I'm going to show you the items that will be down there for her. These are a few famous castle cards that I made. It will be a free printable on my website. I'll be sure to link it in the blog post, so make sure you go there and get them. But I just listed a few famous castles and where they're located. And she will have access to these as well as any of her building materials like Legos or building blocks or like the magnetiles. And so she can build a castle of her own. These are coloring pages from the Famous Figures ebook from Medieval Times, or Medieval Famous Figures. So it is really cool because it gives you the coloring page and then it gives you a page about them that you can read. So I just printed those off so she can do the coloring pages, and then whichever coloring page she chooses and finishes, I can read the little synopsis to her about that person. So it's kind of an activity and a learning exercise all in one. I also got her this Melissa and Doug Medieval Castle. We didn't do this last year when we did Passport to Adventures, even though it's included in the curriculum, because I just didn't think she would have the patience for it at that point in time. She does now, so I picked this up for her. I figure she can do this to keep her hands busy while I'm reading. And then the last thing I have is just a really, well, it's not really small, but a small sensory bin. So this is just one of those Sterilite latch boxes, and I filled it with rice, and I put all of the little tube knight and horses in here for her. She really, really loves sensory bins. So this is just a small sensory bin that she can play quietly in while I'm reading. That is our September medieval themed morning basket. Again, I'm going to go ahead and put some clips in here at the end of where our morning basket and everything that is stored so that you can see that. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them in the comments down below because I'm happy to answer them. And also make sure that you are subscribed so that you can see the morning basket time in action in the next few weeks.